Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here on Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and then I could deliver my best to your inbox every day. And if you enjoy the watches, see them and own them on thewatchbox.com. Buy, sell, or trade on thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the Breguet Classique Chronograph 5247BR, so rose gold 40mm classical Breguet profile with a combination of the legendary Lemania 2310 based chronograph caliber and a Grand Faux enamel dial in a rose gold case. Let's talk about how it fits. On my 16cm circumference wrist, it is a perfect match. 40mm is an excellent size for a contemporary men's dress watch, and the fact that it's a complication means that wrist real estate is well used. The timepiece is relatively slim, all things considered 12.3mm thick with a generously domed bezel. It will slide underneath any dress cuff, jacket, and sleeve. Across the wrist, it has a contemporary 47.9mm stance, but it's not oversized by any means. This is an easy watch to wear on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference. For those of you who do wish to accessorize, the lug spacing is 20mm. Now the watch has heft to it. You know you're wearing precious metal, so though the bulk is spare, nevertheless you do get that premium pull of a luxury timepiece on your wrist. There's no mistaking it. The strap itself is nicely matched, a warm medium brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather in a semi-gloss finish with a contrasting stitch, a little bit of bolstering. You can see a folded edge on the underside, supple calfskin, and then the clasp itself is a matching rose gold Breguet unit, fully finished internally. It's handsome and it provides a measure of security while donning or removing. You'll also note that the watch features all of the Breguet conventions of style, including, and this is less symbolic than a measure of physical security, but screws fixing the strap to the case. That's reassuring as well as traditional in style. Spring bars have no place on a luxury watch, and that's been my longtime belief. The lugs themselves are soldered on and delightfully rendered, straight, double finished in that the flanks are polished and the side of the case is coined. The soldering of the lug to the case involves removing all evidence of the weld, and it is immaculate, beautifully crafted. The case flank cold rolled and then hand finished to create the neat appearance you see here, with just a little bit of overlap between the lip of the bezel and the lip of the case back over the center case. Strong lines, beautiful detailing, hand finished, nicely done. We can get a little close now that the watch is off the wrist, and you can fully appreciate that extraordinary Grand Faux enamel dial. The base is white and there's a medley of colors. Heat blued steel hands, as you can see, for all functions save chronograph seconds, a beautifully extended needle style, loop counterweighted chronograph seconds hand, stylized Breguet Arabic numerals. The dial, being made of enamel, will not tarnish, it will not fade, it will not oxidize, and it also will not lose its gleam and luster. The magic of enamel is that it looks like perpetually wet paint, almost as if it has a richness and a depth to it such that you could stick your finger deep into it, like a can of open Benjamin Moore before the first dip. Absolutely gorgeous, and the detailing even better, with the distinctive Nautilus-style spiral, that's Nautilus the animal, not the watch, at center, rendering a vintage telemeter scale as originally used by artillery spotters to gauge distance in conjunction with the known speed of sound at sea level and the chronograph function. Breguet-style hands, as you can see, with beautiful outboard loops and handsome dart-style indices, and of course the corporate marquee at 12 o'clock, pump-style pushers, and a conventional traditional crown. You might argue that the caseback vies with the dial itself to claim primacy in this timepiece. It is gorgeous. Now this is the Breguet caliber 533.3, 24 joules, manually wound, 48-hour power reserve, based on the Lemania 2310 that's previously done yeoman duty for Roger Dubuis, Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and many others. In fact, a variant of this very movement went to the moon as the Omega caliber 321. Lateral clutch column wheel betrays all of its secrets, hides nothing. This is why you want a manual wind traditional lateral clutch chronograph, because you can see as I cycle this caliber, the column wheel, the levers, and the horns of the chronograph are on full display. You can see the lateral clutch, which is this intermediate wheel and this driving wheel. The intermediate wheel actually running off the fourth wheel of the movement itself. It moves in, it moves out, and then when you reset, you can see the recentering hammers acting on the heart cam at center. Beautiful, and again, a spectacle in its own right to rival the dial. There is a Breguet overcoil hairspring, appropriate given the marquee, and the hairspring helps the watch to achieve superb chronometric performance in many positions with respect to gravity, which is why this watch is adjusted in an extraordinary 6 positions. Chronometers tend to be adjusted in only 5, so this watch going above and beyond. Now, Breguet does hot rod the movement just a little bit with a free-sprung architecture about the balance, so it can better take precise regulation and resist bumps, disruptions, vibrations, and concussions on the wrist. And the beat rate has been raised from 18,000 vibrations per hour in the basic Lemania to 21,600 vibrations per hour here. Finish is what you'd expect. As you can note, all of the screw heads are black polished, as is the regulator as well as the swan's neck adjustment mechanism. And when I turn the watch flush to the camera, you can see the edge of every bridge and lever lighting up, because that is true mirror finished anglage, gorgeously rounded and black polished in its own right. You can generally see best when the watch is square to the eye just how optically smooth those surfaces, which include the jewel countersinks, are. If you get super close, and you will want to loop when appreciating this watch, you'll even note that the spokes of the primary wheels have themselves been chamfered. Absolutely gorgeous and representative of the finest valet de jeu watchmaking. That's right, in the modern era, Breguet is a neighbor to Audemars Piguet and Jaeger-LeCoultre, but make no mistake, the famed Parisian watchmaker going strong in the 21st century in the Swiss Watch Valley. Find out with this watch on your wrist on the Watchbox.